Have you ever wondered about those surveys that talk about what's on people's minds? You kind of curious who in the world they talk to. But anyway, I've been noticing some articles about the damage that the COVID pandemic has done to mental health in our country. And, it seems like feelings of isolation and loneliness are really on an uptick right now. And that's like a double whammy, because if you're feeling lonely, you're going to feel more isolated. And if you're isolated due to maybe fears about getting sick or whatever, then it kind of feeds the loneliness. So anyway, the kind of like the saddest part about all this is that apparently these factors are contributing to a rise in suicides, and especially among the younger folks. So maybe you have feelings of isolation and loneliness, or heaven forbid you think about, well, there's no sense in continuing or whatever. But it's probably far more likely that each one of us knows somebody or is in contact with somebody who's struggling with these issues. It's just so sad to hear about a suicide, whether it's a younger person or an older person. But typically if we hear about somebody committing suicide that we knew or were in contact with, we would say something like, well, if only I'd have known, I would have reached out or something. Well, I think God has a special place in his heart for those who do feel lost or lonely or isolated. And I think maybe that's why the Bible has so many stories of Jesus reaching out to people, the lost and the struggling. Jesus deeply cares about people, and he wants all of us to have that special peace in our hearts, to feel that joy as we look around. I mean, again, I talked about it a little bit last week, but you look around and the leaves back that way aren't real bright, but there's a really pretty tree over there. Anyway, Jesus promises to be with us when we're feeling down or lonely or isolated. He promises the constant presence of the Holy Companion to be our constant advocate, to be our constant presence with us. And then Jesus calls for each one of us to reach out a friendly hand to those around us, to be a sympathetic listener, to cry with people when they're struggling, and then to laugh to people, to kind of laugh with people. I want to be careful how I say that, to build up their spirits, because there's something about laughter that just kind of makes everything better, right? Well, this is all part of our core values at Kalamo of loving God and caring for others, reaching out for those who maybe they're not feeling any hope. They're not having any feelings of fun and happiness. I kind of talk about, it's kind of like Halloween isn't fun anymore, because Halloween's kind of a fun time, right? Well, we're in a series at Kalamo asking ourselves, what would Jesus say to some of our things that we're facing in our lives today? So, what would Jesus say to us when we're feeling down and out? I'd like to share my thoughts with you. Would you like to hear more? You can check out our message this week at Kalamo. I'd love to talk with you. I'm your neighbor Jerry. I'm pastor at Kalamo Church. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. And bye for now.